All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to crack open the owner's manual to female hormones. It's a system that's often seen as this big mystery, but honestly, it holds the keys to your entire health.
Okay, let's just jump right in with a really powerful idea, one that comes straight from the medical community. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists actually calls a woman's period the fifth vital sign. That puts it right up there with your blood pressure, your pulse, and your temperature. Think about that.
So, what on earth does that actually mean? Well, it means we need to totally reframe how we think about the menstrual cycle. It's not just, a thing that happens every month. It's way more like a detailed monthly report card on how your body is doing overall. And here's the thing. This system is super sensitive. It's constantly reacting to everything going on inside and outside your body. Your brain is basically asking this one question over and over. Are we good? Is it safe enough and healthy enough right now to, potentially support a pregnancy? And your cycle? That's the answer you get every single month. And this report card, it tells you so much. I mean, look at this. The regularity of your cycle, that tells you if your brain and ovaries are even talking to each other properly. Then you've got the characteristics of your flow and any pain involved. That can give you clues about your reproductive health. And any weird changes, right? Like a sudden delay, that's often the very first red flag that maybe your stress levels or recent weight changes are throwing things out of whack. Okay, so to really understand this health report, you gotta know who's writing it, right? And that's your hormones. Let's start with the big one, the headliner, estrogen. But get this, it's not made in just one place.
Yeah, your body actually has two totally different estrogen factories. On one hand, you've got the ovaries. Think of them as this super specialized high-tech factory that's running the show during your fertile years, making really high-quality stuff. And then you've got fat tissue. It's more of a generalist factory, kind of taking over production later in life, and the estrogen it makes is, well, lower quality. And this chart here, it lays it all out perfectly. It shows you exactly how your life stage and your body composition completely change who's in charge. Just look at that top row. For a healthy, fertile woman, the ovaries are doing pretty much all the work, like over 90%. But then follow it down. After menopause, that main factory basically shuts down, and the backup factory in your fat tissue takes over 100%. But now, and this is key, look what happens on the right. In both scenarios, having more fat tissue, being obese, cranks up the production from that secondary factory. A lot. Okay, and this is where things get really, really interesting. Because it's not just about where the estrogen comes from. It's that the estrogen these two factories make, well, they are not the same at all. Not even close. So we've got two main players in this story. You've got estradiol, we'll call it E2, which is made by the ovaries. That's the powerful main character, the star of the show during your reproductive years. And then you've got estrone, or E1, which comes from fat tissue. It's more like the understudy. And the power difference between these two is it's huge. Think of it like high-octane racing fuel versus regular low-grade gas. E2 is something like 10 to 12 times more powerful than E1. And that, by the way, is exactly why the E1 you make after menopause can't really stop things like hot flashes or bone loss. It's not strong enough to do the big job E2 used to handle.
So where does all that power come from? It's all about how they connect to your cells. Your cells have these things called receptors, which are basically like little locks that kick off some action. E2 is like the perfect key. It slides in, fits perfectly, and sends a super strong, clear signal. E1, on the other hand, is like a janky key. It jiggles around, it might open the lock, but the signal it sends is way weaker, way less reliable.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, if E1 is so weak, who cares, right? It's not a big deal. But this is where the plot twist comes in. The problem isn't the weak hormone floating around. The problem is what it can become.
See, the real danger isn't happening out in your bloodstream. The danger is what happens when that weak E1 sneaks inside very specific cells. We're talking about cells in the breast and the uterus. Okay, so look at how this works. Step 1, that weak E1 from your fat tissue gets into a breast or uterine cell. Then this villain enzyme, and that's a good name for it, basically gives it a power-up. It converts it into super potent E2, right there on the spot. And that locally made E2 is like pure rocket fuel. It finds the cell's accelerator pedal receptor and just slams on it. It tells the cell to grow and grow and grow, completely unchecked. This is the hidden factory that can fuel hormone-sensitive cancers. Now, I know this all sounds kind of scary, like it's some internal drama that's totally out of your control. But here's the amazing part. The science of epigenetics shows us that you actually have way more control than you think.
So, is this whole story already written in your genes? Are you just along for the ride? The answer is a huge, definitive no. Your DNA might be the script, sure, but you're the one who decides how the performance goes.
Think of it this way. You are the director of your own genetic movie. Your lifestyle, your environment, those are the director's notes. You're writing all over the script. These notes are basically little chemical tags that stick to your DNA, and they tell your cells which scenes to play up and which scenes to totally ignore. You're not changing the script itself, you're just changing how it's read. And this right here, this is the most important part. Your everyday choices are those director's notes. What you eat, whether you move your body or sit all day, how you manage stress, your body weight, all these things act like volume dials for those little factories inside your cells. A diet full of processed foods and a sedentary life, that can crank the volume way up on that villain enzyme. But a diet full of nutrients and regular movement, that can turn the volume way, way down. You're essentially telling that gene to be quiet. So, look, your body is talking to you. It's sending you this incredibly detailed report every single month. And when you learn how to read the signals, the rhythm, the flow, the symptoms, all of it, you get the power to not just see where your health is today, but to actually direct where it's going tomorrow. It's telling you a story. So the real question is, what is your body's story telling you?